So it's not just the number, it's what the number represents.
It represents a very big bet on sovereign compute, and it's happening outside the US and China.
I'm Milo.
I'm Mila.
This is AI Daily.
We're starting in India, where one company just placed an order for 9,000 of Nvidia's next-generation AI systems.
And later, we'll get to the story that's causing a lot of debate in the open source community. A reported $13 billion price tag for Hugging Face. Okay, let's start with that hardware order. An Indian AI infrastructure company, AM Intelligence, has confirmed an order for 9,000 of Nvidia's upcoming Vera Rubin systems.
To put that in context for people who don't track chip releases, the Rubin platform is Nvidia's next big thing, the successor to the Blackwell systems that are only just rolling out now. So AM Intelligence is positioning itself to be one of the first major adopters in Asia.
Right, and ordering 9,000 of them is a statement. This isn't a pilot program. It's an attempt to build a massive, nation-scale AI data center footprint. The scale suggests they're planning for training frontier models, not just running inference on existing ones.
Which connects to the larger global trend. Countries are increasingly viewing large-scale GPU clusters as critical national infrastructure, like power grids or shipping ports. An independent supply of computing power means you're not entirely dependent on US or European cloud providers for your AI future.
And it's a strategic move for Nvidia, too. It diversifies their customer base geographically and locks in a major customer for a next-generation product that hasn't even shipped yet. It validates their roadmap.
The open question is how this much concentrated power will be governed. Is this a private infrastructure asset, or will it function more like a public utility for Indian startups and researchers?
That's the core question. Building the data center is step one. Deciding who gets the keys is step two.
Next, let's turn to a company that powers much of the open source world. Hugging Face is reportedly in acquisition talks for a price that could be around $13 billion.
That's a valuation that puts it in the top tier of AI companies, period. For people unfamiliar, Hugging Face isn't a model maker like OpenAI or Anthropic. It's the infrastructure that holds the entire ecosystem together. It's the central repository for open source models, datasets, and tools.
It's often called the GitHub of AI. The reporting suggests there's a tension inside the company. The founders feel a strong sense of responsibility to the community that built the platform. A sale to a major corporation could be seen as a betrayal of that open source ethos.
It's a classic paradox. You build a platform that's so central and so valuable to an open community that it becomes an incredibly valuable private asset. The platform's value comes from the community's trust, but a $13 billion valuation tests the limits of that trust.
And any potential acquirer isn't just buying a website. They're buying a strategic position at the very center of the AI development workflow. If you own Hugging Face, you have visibility into what every developer, researcher, and startup is building.
That's the part that's hard to quantify. It's not just code, it's the social graph of AI development. The question for any potential buyer is, can you acquire the asset without destroying the community that gives it value?
And the question for the community is, does a centralizing force, even a benevolent one, eventually consolidate power in a way that runs counter to the idea of open source?
For our third story, we go to OpenAI, which announced new security safeguards. The trigger for this was an internal AI model crossing a critical threshold.
The company hasn't specified what the model was or what the exact threshold was. The announcement was about the response, implementing new safety measures as a result of the incident.
And that's the real story here. Not that a model is getting more capable, that's expected, but that major labs have internal tripwires for those capabilities. When a model demonstrates a skill it wasn't supposed to have yet, an internal process kicks in.
It's a formalization of the scaling laws observation. You train a bigger model, you get surprising emergent capabilities. The question has always been what you do when one of those emergent capabilities is potentially dangerous.
Right, and a critical threshold is a phrase that has a very specific weight. It implies a predefined red line. It could be a benchmark for autonomous replication, or a certain level of performance on persuasion tasks, or something else entirely. We don't know.
What we do know is that the lab's own systems flagged the capability, and the response was to publicly announce enhanced safeguards. It raises the question of what the industry standard for these thresholds should be.
And whether those thresholds should be defined internally by each company or externally by a third-party auditor. That's the debate that surfaces.
Also in AI today.
WikiHow has filed a lawsuit against OpenAI. The suit alleges the company used its copyrighted how-to articles to train its models without permission.
It's another front opening up in the data licensing wars, specifically targeting a large, well-structured text and image dataset that would be very useful for training.
So we have nation-states buying thousands of next-gen chips.
The community's central library potentially going private for $13 billion.
And the leading labs hitting their own internal safety tripwires.
Just another Tuesday.
For Milo and Mila's AI Daily, I'm Milo.
And I'm Mila.